I don't know why I bother to do this. It doesn't seem to update. Formatting. Oh no, it's gonna talk. It's gonna talk to me today. Let me see if I can turn this down. There we go. Okay, so today I'm going to be formatting an ebook for Paperback or CreateSpace. So, let me go grab it. I use Google Drive a ton for everything. And I actually written and formatted a good number of my books just using Google Documents. I like it because it's so simple. You can just format everything very simply. It's got everything that you need. And then when you're ready to, download it so you can upload it elsewhere or whatever, you just download it as a Word file. Now, if you've been watching any of these videos, whether it's right now or, in the future, I'm new to streaming on Twitch, so I've had some issues with my audio. It went from where I had my mic quite a distance from me because I actually had this camera, this above shot, uh, kind of entangled in my mic boom. But that just wasn't working out. I had to do a different setup. So, but now this camera is not as shaky. You can hear me better, but I noticed like on the first video I did, you could also hear like all of my annoying mouth sounds, which would drive me nuts. So I've moved the mic a little away, but I don't know if it's gonna do any good. We'll find out. Let's see. Alright, so should be good. What is this? Who's saying what? Somebody else, one of my, actually Dale with self-publishing, with, with Dale just went live. He's the one that actually got me into this. Alright, so I'm just going to download this as a Word file. So the book's already been edited and formatted for ebook. And I'm just going to be working. Actually, look, I'd already done this. Alright. So I want to go back and put the table of contents back into this one. Insert. They've changed this around. I don't think I like it. Let's get rid of this. There we go. That one. Good deal. Alright. Let's close this out before we screw something up here. What's going on here? Okay. Okay, I'm just gonna open this one, I guess. And let's go clock in. So, I work from home as a virtual assistant, and most of the stuff that I do during the day, and a good bit of the stuff that I stream or am going to be streaming, is going to be work that I'm doing for clients. So here we're going to be editing and formatting. This is going to be the travel, but I always put a description in so I know what in the world is happening. And that way when I invoice my client, I can be specific about what I was working on. They love it. So travel book, we're formatting for CS or CreateSpace. And since I'm the only one that sees this, it doesn't, I always am a little more specific. Okay, so I'm going to clock my time. This website, if you're curious, is called Toggl at TOGGL.com. Toggl, so it's without the E on the end. And I'm able to use this to track my hours pretty effectively. Alright, so let's enable editing. Let's close this. I'm really thinking that I probably edited that other one a little. So I'm going to go check that out here in a minute. You can see Google Docs spits it out looking pretty good. Now here we've got an issue. I'm pretty sure I've worked on this one already. So I'm probably actually going to trash that one. Let's see. There we go. It's the thing when you work for a lot of different clients. See, I've done some work on this one already, so I'm gonna trash this copy. When you work for a lot of different clients, it's easy to lose what you're doing in the shuffle. Probably wouldn't be a bad idea if I kept like a spreadsheet of notes or something. So yeah, I'm pretty sure I've been through this one, inserted all the page breaks. I may have already even converted this one. Let's go check that out. I let CreateSpace do the heavy lifting on this. I'm sure there are publishers out there who would just, or formatters or whatever you call them, that would just hate me because I don't use any complicated anything to do this. Like, I don't know how to typeset anything professionally. I know how to format. So yeah, I haven't done that here yet. So I just I don't know what they do. I know I did some work for a client on a book that was professionally typeset, and it was a freaking nightmare. So I think pretty much what I've done is gotten this ready to format on the computer. I'm going to take this out. I'm going to delete this because I'm actually going to put an updated one in here once I get, where is the delete? One of these menus here will let me delete this table. Which one is it? There we go. Okay, so let's save that. I don't even know what I was talking about. Okay, so that's saved. I'm going to go ahead and, like I said, I have this test. This is just a test book set up in CreateSpace, simply so I can go in here and let it do the heavy lifting as far as formatting goes. So we want black and white, and I believe we'll go with cream. Yeah, because this is it's a nonfiction, but it's like anecdotal. So I'm gonna upload my file, which is this one. Save it, and it'll take that a few minutes to process. So yeah, there's a lot of professional, I'm sure, publishers, typesetters, that kind of thing. This is what I was talking about earlier. I worked on a book from a client that was professionally typeset, and there was like a bunch of like weird characters inside the Word document or whatever. It didn't make any sense to me. So if that is like some kind of skill, I know okay, Adobe makes InDesign, which is basically software for designing books or whatever. So I know there's a professional element to formatting books to publish. But the thing is that the software that Amazon uses and aggregates like Draft to Digital use, that software is so good that it can take a Word document that is reasonably formatted well and turn it into a really decent looking book. Like, I cannot tell the difference between a book that was professionally typeset and one that was done. Okay, so this is one of my books. And I really. The only thing in this book that really makes it look self-published, I would say, is probably the font, because it's Arial or whatever, because I like it. It's easy to read, right? This book actually should have been published on cream paper because it's a fiction. But yeah, I don't know if you can see that. This is formatted by me, Word document upload. Not so bad, right? Like, I don't think it looks. Now, let's compare it to a professionally done book. This done uploading already. So I have this one. My mom just bought me this. I read this actually when I was a teenager. But yeah, so if you look at this, the font is it's a serif font, so it's like Times New Roman or whatever. And really, that's the only thing. It's on the cream paper, and really, that's the only thing about this. And this, it's smaller, that kind of thing, that makes it look like a professionally done book. So yeah, I don't think there's a big enough difference for it to matter. I think what I'm about to do here is perfectly fine, acceptable, and good. So, alright, so here we go. There were 4 issues with my book. 4 issues. So I'm going to open it up in the interior viewer. Please note you have to have Flash enabled in your browser to run the preview, or if you don't, it won't work. Okay, and I always select paste into template because that seems to work best, So already we're going to have some issues here. So I'm going to want to remove some of this space. So all of this right here is on one page. What you're seeing here is the reserved page for the table of contents. And then we get into our book. Not so bad, right? So I just like to thumb through here. Got a blank page there. See that? Okay, so actually what I'm going to do is go ahead and download this version. You see here, it gives me the option. Download this version. So this pasted into the template fixed version that's formatted for my book size, which is 6 by 9 inches. I can go ahead and download that version. And then I'm going to click go back and make changes. And what we're going to do from here is open this one and edit it directly instead of working on that old ebook, right? Ebook, you know, it's been formatted, it's edited, it's done, it's actually published as well. So we don't need to be playing around with that anymore. So I'm going to go ahead and close that down. And still eat some of this space first off. Didn't I click this? Enable editing. Alright, so let's delete some of this space. Should get all of this on one page and looking fantastic. Here's your table of contents page. Preface. I don't like this space here at the bottom of this page, so we're going to fix that. Let's see what we can do. Doesn't look like there's anything we can do. There's a break in the content there. Okay, I'm just going to scroll through. We're just going to eyeball it. Make sure everything looks kosher here. You're going to notice that they call this the gutter. So there's more space on the left margin here, right margin here, than there is in the middle, because this is where the pages are connected in the center of the book or whatever. Alright, so here we have a blank page we don't want. So I'm simply going to put my cursor, hit delete until this is up there where it belongs. And what I want to do is I want to click this so I can make sure there's a page break at the end of this page. We want a page break here. Let's see if we can cram one in here. Yeah, that's a problem. There we go. So you cram that page break at the bottom there, gets rid of that blank page, right? There we go. Let's save that so it'll stay put. Alright, so I'm going to turn this back off because it's so distracting. I'm going to just keep going through. I'm not sure that I like how jagged everything is along this margin here. Doesn't look very good. Should be straight like this one. Let me try something on this big piece of text here. See if it'll fix it. If we justify it. Well, it looks better, doesn't it? I might have to go through, fix that. Alright, so I'm just going to scroll down. Have a look at everything. So, you know, it's not exciting to format books. Yeah, I'm definitely going to justify this. I feel like that'll look so much better than that jagged edge out there on all these pages. Looks good. Looks good, looks good. And I'm just doing a quick scroll because what we're going to end up doing is re-uploading this to CreateSpace, and I want to preview it using their view, if you will, because that's the one that matters, right? Alright, so I'm going to justify all the normal text just so it's not jagged on that inner edge. Just make sure that looks okay. Probably look better with like a, let's try like a different font. Like that book Antiqua. That's what we're gonna do. That looks nice. Like it. We're gonna go 12 on it too. What do you think? Good. Okay, so I'm just gonna do this throughout the entire book. I'll leave these things the way they are. Alright, so here we go. Book Antiqua, 12 points. Justified. Good, good. I like it. Gonna keep going. This client, there's a story here. So this fellow, he is a trainer. He does like, OSHA safety type training, wear your proper personal protective equipment, that kind of stuff. And so he has, over the years, traveling for his job, acquired a repertoire of crazy travel stories. And that's what this book is actually about. His first book, I believe, was Fishing and Hunting. What's your suggestion on this? Anyway, so he went through what I would consider a vanity publisher with his first book. Sorry, I'm trying to talk and work at the same time here. Did I justify? What in the world? Look at that. Did I justify this one? Yeah. Alright, so his first book he did through this publisher, right? And they charged him, a few $1,000s. And said they were going to market and do, the whole 9 yards with his book. They did his cover, formatting everything, book description, all his stuff they did, but from what I get from him, he had to, stay on him pretty hot and heavy, and also, like the marketing and things that they did were ultimately ineffective. And so he's stuck with these people, right? They have his book, they're holding it hostage, he's under some kind of ridiculous contract. They won't change his pricing. They keep telling him they know better than he does. The man, they're not his book agent. They're not his, I don't know, they're his publisher, but they're his self-publisher. It's not like, they got him into the New York Times as a bestseller. They haven't really done anything except, make it a hassle for him to be able to do anything productive with his book, in my opinion. And his too, because, obviously he sought me out to help him find a different route, right? So yeah, we're doing his second book here, and actually I went to this company's website and I'm reading their stupid FAQ or whatever, And one of the questions was something about what if I've already published my book previously with a different publisher? Can I still work with you? And they were like, oh, sure. All we have to do is publish your book as a second edition. So if they can do that, so can he, right? So he's under contract for the first edition of his book. But for the second edition, we can grab that and run with it. So hopefully my end goal here is going to be to get this fellow control over his book. All he wants to do is tell his freaking stories, Get him control over his book and roll with that. I feel like, it inspired me. That's actually inspired me to not really open, launch, I guess is a better word, my own publishing company. And it's not going to be like a vanity style publisher. The authors will have their books published to their own publishing accounts where they maintain ownership. I won't be under any type of contract or have any rights at all to their manuscript. So I hope, of course I hope it'll be a success, but I also hope that what I do, let's see, let me do a format paint here. So I want this to be the same format here. Cool. Save it. Y'all see me dragging my giant coffee cup around in the side of the camera because I'm trying to go around with my microphone. Hopefully you can hear me better today and it's not like all of my mouth breathing and freaking mouth sounds and stuff. Alright, so we saved this. I think it looks amazing. I'm going to upload this. So here we're going to do upload a different file. And no, I don't want to do that. I want to go here. Browse, and we're going to choose this one. And again, that's going to take a moment. So we'll check some email. See what's happening on Facebook. I really should close Facebook when I'm working. Not because it's a distraction, but just because if there's a little one in parentheses up here on this tab, I must go look at it. Let's see. I think Twitch told me that my ideal time to stream is 7:30 in the evening. I'm here doing this type of work by probably 8 a.m. in the morning. So by 7:30, my brain is fried. I did a little bit last night. I love the streaming so much. It's fun. But I'm just so fried in the evening. I'm not good. I'm good for anything where I don't have to think. Does that make sense? Usually, I watch some TV, but now that I'm doing this, it's a lot more fun. People will tell you, any type of content that you create, people will tell you to be a good content creator, to be a good writer, to be a good, whatever, that you need to consume a ton of content so that you understand what's good. But my idea of good content is going to be different from everyone else's. So if I just go and I consume a ton of different content and it's all my style of stuff that I enjoy, then like, I don't know, there's a disconnect there. I feel like either you're a content creator or you're a content consumer, and yes, you can be both. But if I'm going to spend a lot of time, say, writing poetry, I don't want to read a ton of poetry, because then when I'm trying to come up with my own poem or whatever, my mind's going to be spitting out all the stuff that I've read. I want my stuff to be original. I don't want to be, swiping bits and pieces from other things. Notice we're down to one issue with our file now, so we're going to load that up and take a look at it. It's probably just going to be, we removed some non-printable markup from your whatever. That's usually what it is. It started. Yep, we've removed non-printable markup, and I have no idea what that is. They never tell me. Already we have an issue right here. This first edition doesn't want to stay centered on the page for some reason. We'll have to work with that. Now I'm just going to thumb through. This is so not fun. It's like my least favorite part, trying to make sure everything. See, I already need to go back in and do page numbers. But that looks good. That looks so much better than the plain font, right? So we'll just keep going. Good. 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 Like it. I think it looks nice. Again, a good amount of this gutter here is going to be, eaten up by being glued in the book. You're going to be right about here. So everything's going to look nice and even in the end result. So we just keep going. Excuse me. See, I could format this myself, but it's so much easier just to stick this in CreateSpace and let it grind it up for me than it is for me to try and do all this margin work and things myself. I think I might be the only person who does it this way, and I don't recall where or how I learned it, really. When I started publishing, I Googled my way through learning self-publishing. So, does this have some extra space? No, we're good. I don't like it when there's extra space on the page. It doesn't look good. Almost there. I think there's, 12 chapters. Looks amazing. Yep. That's it. We are good to go. What was the one thing? Page numbers. So we still are open here. I think our one thing we need to do is going to be page numbers. Oh, and this doesn't want to stay centered. I don't know what to do about it. I mean, it's showing centered here. Let's reset it a little bit, and let's maybe push it down. See if that does anything. Alright, so now we want to insert our page numbers. So we're going to go into our footer, and we want different first page, so there's not a page number excuse me, I'm so sorry, on our title page, right? And let's see. Page number. We'll do bottom of page, and I'm going to go with, no, we want bottom of page. Ding dong. bottom of page in the center. There we go. Great. So let me take these out. Delete. Don't want that there. Okay, so we should be good. Yep, 2, 3, 4. All good. Page numbers. Good, good. Save it. Let's click back into this. Alright, was there anything else besides that? Alright, so I'm going to save. We're saved, right? Again, here we go again. Gonna upload it one more time. You see, like, it's so... I clicked the wrong thing. It's I cannot think and work at the same time. Or talk and work at the same time. That would be bad if I couldn't think and work at the same time. Alright, so we're gonna upload it again. Get the updates. And it's just processing. I don't do face cam during the daytime. I haven't been doing it at all. But I don't do it during the daytime because I'm sitting here basically in my pajamas, my hair sticking up. I use my shower time as kind of an excuse to take an afternoon break, if that makes sense. And I'll, pump up some music and just have a nice break in the afternoon. Sometimes it's a pain to do it that way. Like if you have people stopping by your house, you're waiting on a delivery or something like that. You don't want people to see with your hair sticking all up. Sometimes it's an inconvenience. Or if you're really into what you're working on, you don't want to, if you're in a good groove, you don't want to stop and drop everything, go take a shower. But for the most part, it just gives me an excuse because I would go all day and not stop for any kind of break at all, and that's bad. So thank you, attention deficit disorder, for that little hyper focus aspect. Alright, launch interior reviewer, whatever. Do it. Just like to say, like, you're watching me utilize the skills that I use to make my living. So, and I work online from home. I'm gonna have to take that first edition out of there. Maybe move it up or something. I don't know. It's not working for me. Page numbers look good. Excellent. Pretty sure this is good to go. So, only problem is this. I'm gonna delete it and I'm gonna go up here and try to put it here. I'm gonna save that, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna upload it one more time and see if I can fix that little center problem that I'm having. I keep trying to go up there and choose that or click that. To me, like, especially having an artistic background, like, I'm used to making mistakes a part of the finished product. So, like with this first edition little problem that I'm having, if it doesn't work there, I'm gonna find a way to work it out. I have like this innate no quit attitude when it comes to stuff. Sure, I get tired and frustrated like anybody else, but if I get too frustrated, I put it down and I'm gonna walk away from it and I'm gonna think about it, over. I period of time while I recharge, and then I'm going to come back at it and tackle it again. I've been doing this online thing for 12 years now. For the majority of those 12 years, let's see, for 8 of the 12 years, I did it on the side in addition to my full-time job. So I've been at it for that long, and I haven't made $1 million yet. So not that I'm so not trying to make $1 million, but you know what I mean. I haven't seen the success with things that I want to see yet, so I'm still working at it. Let's see if we fixed it. Launch this one more time, then we're going to be done here if it's all good to go, and we'll work on the cover. I'll show you how I convert an ebook or Kindle cover. Yeah, we're all good to go. Convert a Kindle cover to work with CreateSpace. Actually, I freaking closed that a little too soon because we needed to grab a template. I'll show you how I do that. Log me in. Alright, so we're going to go to bookcow.com/resources, and these are free resources. Gotta get our page count because we want the CreateSpace template generator. So our interior, 72 pages, black and white on cream. So let's put that in here. 72. It's cream. We want 6 by, come on now, world. 6 by 9, 72 pages, cream paper. We don't need to put this because CreateSpace automatically adds the barcode. I used to think you needed to do that, but you don't. Alright, and I'm just going to put my email address in here. Consent to email. Email me that cover template. I have donated to Steve before. He's a very kind man. Offers this as an extra benefit. So you can see offers print and ebook formatting. He offers that as an extra free benefit to his services. So let's go see. We should have gotten it. Yep. Steve at Bookcow. And we're just going to download the zip. Now we can close this, I think. Minimize. We should have it right here. Extract to here. Alright, I'm going to take a quick break. I'll be right back. Less than 2 minutes. Alright. So I like to work with the PNG. I gotta open up Photoshop here. Hopefully that's not gonna explode my computer. This could get interesting streaming. I'm not used Photoshop and streamed at the same time, so hopefully it'll work because I'd like to share some Photoshop stuff. So see what happens. It's very important during this process that you stay fueled up with coffee. My drug of choice, caffeine. It's the caffeine crisis, my friends. I think I'm allergic to the pop filter on my microphone. It's like one of those foam ones. I have like the one that like hooks onto your whatever and is like the big round pantyhose that you talk through. But it makes me sneeze. Maybe it's because it's just dusty. We don't care. It takes forever and 3 days for freaking Photoshop to open on my computer. I am going to shut this Word file though, because that might just be the end all. Have I mentioned how basic my equipment is? My computer is actually a basic model that's issued to college students. And one of the colleges here, in the fall when all the students go to college and the freshmen get their free laptop or whatever, most of them already have computers. So they end up pawning the one the school gives them for some cash. And so the pawn shops get this rush of laptops, brand new, and mine is actually 4 years old, so it's not like it's, new either anymore. So it's a very basic model, and the setup that I've managed is basic as well. I think it works. So I don't know. What do you think out there, world, internet? See what I mean? This takes forever. I'm so sorry. And I'm not gonna do any editing ever on my videos because that just drains my soul. So unless I start filming videos that aren't live, I'm having so much fun with this. Like, why would I do that? I mean, you can always fast forward, right? It's the beauty of the internet. Come on, Photoshop. What are you doing? Here we go. Oh, now we're in business. We haven't exploded yet. This is good. This is real good. So, my Photoshop is Photoshop CC. It's the subscription version. I get Photoshop and Lightbox for $10 a month. I cannot complain. When I was in college, I started with Photoshop like 15 years ago when I was in college, and it was like $900. All right, let's see where. It was like $900 to buy Photoshop on disc, because I mean that's how it came back then. All right, I want to see some icons. All right, we're gonna be converting. What is this, PNG? We're gonna be converting this cover into paperback cover. So yeah, $10 a month is way more affordable for me than $900, and it's only new until the next time you spend $900 when the next version comes out. With this, every time they update Photoshop, create a new version, I get a fresh, nice new Photoshop. $10 a month, that's $120 a year. So back in the day, if they updated Photoshop once a year and you bought it every year for $900, I'm spending $120 to get a new version of Photoshop every year. That is a no-brainer. I mean, so like back in the day, I never had a new version of Photoshop. I was always getting the old version on a discount instead of buying whatever the latest greatest thing was, because it was ridiculous prices. There really is no comparison to Photoshop on the market. There just isn't. Okay. Just Control T to transform the layer, and I hit Shift because I want to keep the perspective as I just bring this down to size. And you know, it's probably, I think it's going to be necessary. Sometimes you can get away with this if what you're working on is you don't have the original file. But since I have the original Photoshop file for this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete this layer. Yes. I'm going to close this out. I'm going to open that Photoshop file and import the actual layers into my new cover so I can work with the sizing more aptly than just stretching and whatever something else. So we're gonna have here, I believe is my Photoshop file. Well, it's gonna explode. Come on, you can do it. So basically what this template here does for me is it lets me know where the bleed is. That's this pink area here. You don't want to have any type in that pink area. All your type needs to be inside those pink borders. Your other elements of your cover, like your background image, etc., can go outside there, but you can see this book is not going to have enough space on the spine to include the title and author on the spine. It's taking so long. This is ridiculous. Apologize for the wait here, folks. I do have my eye on a desktop computer. Mind you, I work at a desk, and I just, I run that laptop like a desktop, and I actually have plugged into the HDMI a 32-inch monitor. So actually it's just an old TV, like the resolution and stuff isn't that great. But, it works. So here's what we're going to do here. I'm going to take my background layer. I'm going to drag it over. And Control T so we can size it accordingly to fit within our space here. I hold Shift while I drag my size to keep my proportions. And I'm going to put it right in here, like so. Go ahead and stretch it a little bit of cheating there. Click Enter, press Enter rather. Now I'm going to magnify in here because you can see up here, and I want to make sure we're to the dotted line here. So I'm going to Control T again so I can do a little maintenance here. Drag it to the dotted line. Drag it up here at the top until the pink isn't showing anymore. Ever so slightly. Press Enter, Confirm your changes. Go ahead, just check the other edges just to be sure we are good. Now I'm going to click that magnifying glass, press Alt, click to zoom back out. Now, good, we're good. Now what we want to do is drag over the other elements of the cover. So we're going to take all this text, we're going to drag it over and make it fit inside those pink lines. Here we go. Okay, everything is huge. Alright, these I want to work with together. So let's go text. It's only going to let me work with the text layers one at a time. So let's start with this one. Select all. I'm just going to go smaller on this font. Let's see where 72 puts us. Just about right. Now I'm going to drag it over. Yeah. Now we're going to work on the next one. This should work about 60. Let's try 48. It's going to need to go just a little bit further. Let's try 44. Alright, and finally, so it's going to be our biggest one. Let's try 100 on that. I'm going to say like a 92. Alright, so then what I'm going to do here is I'm going to select all of these layers, not that one, these. Oh, that's not going to work. Okay, so I'm going to have to place these by hand. I forgot. When you're just working with like the cover itself, you can use the centering tools on Photoshop. So, alright, so what we're going to do is, again, we're going to work with these one at a time. If it will let me. Have I hooked them together? Yes. What is this? Undo this. I don't know what is going on. But I know that I want to work with these one at a time like I was doing, you crackhead. Alright, look. Yes, trash it. Excuse me. Alright, let me work with this. We'll come back to the other thing here in a minute. Just checking placement. What even is this? Go away. Yes. Alright. And then we have this. as well. We'll go ahead and work with this. Just pulling text out of every crack everywhere. Let's go. Maybe ever so slightly larger. Let's see. It still needs to go down smaller. No. Let's check our placement. Right across the nose of that. Yeah, that's good. All right. There you have it. All right, now let's try again with these. All right, here goes nothing. Oh, no. I don't want this. I don't want that. All right, here goes nothing. And I'm just going to scale this. So Control T, Shift, just scale it down instead of trying to work with it separate from everything. Right? Apply that for now. We'll scale it again here in a minute. Want it right in there. Scale it down. Check our placement. It's actually smaller. Good, good. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to edit this out. If you look at this version, you can see this lighter outline is closer into the lettering. So we're going to edit that so it's not so huge here. So take our outer glow, which is what that is, and we want to reduce the size of it. So let's scoot this over where we can see what we're doing. You see it zoom in there on Creek. So I'm going to copy that 49 right there, and I'm actually going to put that on all the rest of these. So here's this one. Going to reduce our size for outer glow to 49. See? Yeah. One more. Double click outer glow. It's going to open. I'm going to go down to size, paste that 49 right in there. Yes, and do the same down here. Let's see, we're looking a little more like the original thing here. Ah, yeah, what you think? So, good. I like it. How do you feel? So, now what we're going to do is go down to this template layer. Well, actually, 1 second. What we're going to do is we're going to go right here. We're going to reduce the opacity on this so we can make sure that our text is inside that pink, because if it's not CreateSpace will send this right back to you. Let's have a look here. think we're good. I mean, the outer glow spills over a little bit, but other than that. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and fill this back in. And then we're going to go down to this layer. I'm going to hit new layer. It's going to make me a new layer. Zoom out, magnifying glass, Alt, click, click, click. Alright. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to select color here. Probably right in here somewhere. Like so. And I'm going to use my paint bucket just to dump that in the background. What do you think? Think that's good, or you think like one of these dark colors would be better? I like the bright. So this is the back cover of the book. And for now, again, I'm going to reduce the opacity of this down so I can see those pink outlines. And we're going to go in and add the book description to the back of the book here. So what we're going to do is open a text layer. And I want it to be black. And I'm going to go with that book Antiqua, just like we did with the inside of the book. I'm going to go with it. I want regular. And I'm going to do like 14. And I'm going to go grab the book description. Here it is. It's just a text. And I'm just going to copy and paste this right in there. Here we go. Alright, so what you see here is a mess that we have to fix. I'm going to justify it to the left. I'm going to drag this right here. And then I'm going to work on it a little bit here. I'm going to zoom in a little bit for one thing. And now we're just going to work on this. There's that. Just make sure it's not in that pink. If it's in the pink, move it down to the next line. That's all we're doing here. And making sure there's not spaces on the front side of your stuff over here. Okay? That's all I'm doing. That's pretty much perfect. So, and then we'll up our background back so everything stands out nice and pops. That looks nice. Should we put like some type of decoration here for like maybe a line or something for where it splits off? I think we're good. Barcode will go right here. And I'm still debating if I want to put anything over here. I don't think so. I just want Terry to be able to own this himself. So we'll see if he wants a picture of himself or anything. So that's basically how you convert a ebook or a Kindle cover to work with CreateSpace. Grab your template and then just because I happen to have been the creator of the original file here, I'm able to you know, grab that. If I needed to just stretch this cover out to fit the front, I could. Most of the time what you run into is problems with this running into the pink, where you might need to put, I've solved that in the past by just putting a border out around this. And it usually doesn't look bad if you pick a color that matches. So it's just not as professional as being able to run everything out to the edge like we can do here. Alright, so I'm going to save this. This is going to be, actually going to save it in here. I'm going to save it as a Photoshop file. So this is so I save Photoshop file. Let's close this out. We're all done with that. 40%, 43%. Come on. I'm going to save 3 versions. So I'm doing the Photoshop file or the PSD right now. I'm going to save it as a PDF, and then finally I'll save it as a JPEG so I can send it over to Terry to have a look at. Hopefully he'll like it as well as he did the original cover. We won't have to have a lot of back and forth. Not that that's a problem, but you know. Alright. Save as. Gonna do Photoshop PDF. And right here you want to be sure to unclick layers, because if you don't, it doesn't work. Okay. Yes. We don't want you. Yeah, we want the fast web preview for sure. But notice we're high quality print. Save PDF. You know, and I'm sure there's people out there that do this stuff differently. This is just how, you know, I've adapted things to work for me. So, I mean, you see, I struggle with things from time to time. Getting things to look right. You know, we had to try with the text a couple times to get it to be how we wanted. So 96%. Come on, you can do it. Part of this problem is that I'm running a new USB hub, and it's a cheap one, so it's not that fast. Come on. That last 1%. Save as. Finally, we're going to save it, like I said, as a JPEG, so we can send it to Mr. Terry in an email, and he can have a look at it. So we'll save that. I'm going to take this down a little bit, like so. Yeah. And that's it. So today we formatted a book for paperback from an ebook. Fairly simple. And we also did the cover as well. So once we get the approval from this client, everything's going to be good to go to publish this book on CreateSpace. And, you know, within 24 hours or so, he'll be able to order his personal copies at cost from CreateSpace, and he'll be able to sell paperbacks on Amazon. And it'll take about 5 days for his paperback to join up with his Kindle edition to appear as additional formats on the same page. So that's that. So now what I do is we're going to go clock out because we're done, right? Took us an hour. That's not bad. It's not, there's companies out there that will charge customers, easily $300 or $400 to do what I just did, maybe more, and you're down $300 or $400. That cost Mr. Terry my hourly rate, which is way too cheap at $20 per hour. So, when I open my publishing company, it's going to run on flat fees so that things are going to be a little more comparable to a more expensive model, but not to the extent that, it's screwing people over. So I think I'm going to close out this video. Thanks for tuning in. It's always nice to share what I'm doing with you, and I hope that you get something out of it. If you like what you see here, I'm Ava Quiet Deluxe on Twitch, and would love to have your follow. Also uploading a good number of these videos to YouTube as well. So if you'd like to subscribe to me there, that would be great. I'm actually going to have to create a link for that. So that's going to be heyoava.com/YouTube if you'd like to check out what's going on my channel. So thanks for being here. Catch you soon, and I'll see you in the next stream.